Hi guys, today I'm going to do something that I haven't done for ages and ages and ages. Literally, I don't remember the last time I did this, but this is a Boots and Superdrug haul. Now, I've tried to be good for the past few months, so I actually haven't bought all that much, which is really why I haven't bothered doing a haul video, because I haven't really bought anything to really show you. So these are just a few bits and bobs that I've kind of collected over the past little while. A few of the things I've just bought over the past couple of weeks, but there are a couple of things that I got a while ago, and I just decided to include them because they're things that I really enjoy and have been really enjoying using, and so it's sort of a haul and recent favourites type video combined into one. First thing that I'm going to get out of the way is something that I bought, honestly, 18 months ago. I got this a very long time ago, but I lost it and I found it about a week ago, and so it feels like a new product to me. But this is the only non-Boots and Superdrug thing. This is from MAC and this is Naked Lunch eyeshadow. I bought this eyeshadow at a Harvey Nicks beauty event for sort of bloggers and things. I went with Roisin and Laura, and that was like June or July 2013. It was a really long time ago. I really like this eyeshadow. It's just a sort of like nudie champagne peachy highlight kind of colour. I mean, it's not probably going to be, can you see it? Yeah. It's not maybe actually going to be everyone's cup of tea because it does have a sort of peachy sort of undertone. There you go, you can see it there. But I really like to put this just in the kind of inner corner area of my eye and then just sort of blend it out across towards the middle of the lid, and then blend any of my kind of other neutrally nudie eyeshadows through it, and it just gives it a nice sheen. So yeah, I've really been enjoying using this for the past few days just since I've rediscovered it, and it feels like a brand new product, so I thought it would be unfair to not include it. Sticking with the eyeshadow theme, I'm just going to jump in with something else that I bought a while ago. I bought this about 3 months or 4 months ago, around about October last year I think, and I love it so much. I've used it in a couple of videos, like get ready with me type videos, but I thought that I should include it in the haul, and that is one of the Makeup Revolution palettes. This is the Welcome to the Pleasure Dome palette, and oh, it's so good. It's so good. I mean, honestly, for the price of these palettes, these retail for £6 from Superdrug. £6, £6.50, round about that mark, and honestly, they are absolutely fantastic. I'm going to hold it upside down so that the mirror doesn't dazzle you. But I've kept the little kind of like foily bit so that I've got the names of the eyeshadows on it, and this is what they look like. I'm sure you can tell straight off the bat which ones get used the least. That would be these two here. They are absolutely beautiful colours, but they're not really what I tend to wear. But honestly, people, these 6 here, and all of the mattes along the top, plus the green shades in the corner over here and that bronze, I use these all the time. There's very rarely a day now where I'm not actually wearing eyeshadows from this palette. The ones in the circles across the top here are all mattes, and then the ones in the little kind of square containers are shimmery ones, and the pigmentation of these is incredible. Let's just swatch that for you. Like, the pigmentation of these is so good. Like, for like £6, hold on, let's see. For £6, I mean, you really can't go wrong with this. It is absolutely fantastic. So, loving this. I would have absolutely no hesitation recommending this to anybody. I'm just going to fire through the next few things. Starting off, I'm going to go kind of in order of what I would put on my face. So, a couple of weeks ago, I repurchased this. This is the Gosh Velvet Touch Primer. I used to wear this constantly. I absolutely loved it. And then they kind of upped the price, and it just sort of annoyed me because I felt like it wasn't quite in the drugstore price bracket anymore. You know me, I'm always looking for a bargain, so I was pretty sure that I could find another one from the drugstore that I liked just as much, which I did. The Rimmel one, I love the Rimmel primer, but this was on offer the other day. It was, I think, half price, and I just thought, I loved this back in the day. It was the first primer that I really got on board with. I definitely feel that it keeps my makeup in place all day. It feels really nice and silky when you're applying it. If you're looking for a new drugstore primer and you don't mind spending that tiny little bit extra than the kind of drugstore usual price point, I would definitely recommend checking this out. It's, as I say, it's one of my all-time favourite primers. I like to mix things up and test out some different things now and then, and so I'd moved away from it, but having repurchased it, I've remembered how much I used to love it. So if you have a Superdrug store near you, I would pop in and check this out. Don't have any new foundations to speak about, but I do have a couple of concealers, so I'm very quickly going to fire through this one because not much needs to be said. I repurchased my Collection Lasting Perfection concealer in the shade Fair because I'm pasty and pale. Love this. I don't think I'll ever stop buying this, and I don't know that there's really anything that can properly rival it. However, I had been hearing a lot of good things about this. This is the Maybelline Anti-Age Erase Eye Concealer. I'd heard a lot of people raving about this and saying that it was really good, and I was intrigued by the kind of like sponge situation for the application. So I saw this in Boots a couple of weeks ago and I had some points to spend, and I thought, well, I'll give it a try and see what I think. I will praise this concealer for a few things. I think the consistency is really nice, it's got good staying power, the coverage is good. All I would say is just, and this is just a personal thing because of my skin tone, this is the lightest shade. This is number, well, it's just light, it's just called light, so this is the lightest one, and I feel that it's just a tiny bit dark for me, but that may be because I'm used to this Lasting Perfection one, and it genuinely is a brilliant concealer for really pale skin. If you have very light skin and you haven't actually tried this concealer, I would definitely say go and get the fair version of the collection one, because in terms of drugstore colour ranges, that's one of the biggest problems when it comes to concealers and foundation for drugstore, is the colour range isn't all that great. It's particularly bad if you have particularly dark skin or particularly light skin. If you're somewhere in the middle, you're usually going to be okay, but if you are quite pale like I am, it can sometimes be a little bit of a challenge. However, I would say that if you don't struggle with that, this is a really lovely concealer. I actually really enjoy applying this. The little kind of sponge top feels really nice. In terms of the quality for the price, it's pretty good. Moving on to powder, I picked up this, which is the L'Oreal Nude BB Magic Powder, or Nude Magique BB Powder. This is lovely actually. I picked this up just completely on a whim because I saw it and I thought, oh, that sounds quite exciting. It just looks like this. I'm not even gonna lie, I've broken the packaging. It's so annoying. It has like a little mirror in the back of it. In the back of the packaging it's got a little sponge that you can use, but I don't really like to apply powder with a sponge. It just feels wrong. So I apply it just with a powder brush and it sets your makeup really nicely. It calls itself Velvet Skin Beautifier 5-in-1, mimics the texture and finish of velvety nude skin. So I'm not entirely sure whether or not this is a powder that you're supposed to be able to just use just the way you'd use like a BB cream, just a powder version of it. Just if you've got really good skin. I think you probably could get away with that actually. If you've got really good skin, you've not really got many blemishes to worry about, and you get a little bit oily, this is probably something that I would advise checking out. However, for me, my skin has not been behaving recently. It has been having breakouts and just not doing what I want it to do, so I have been going for more of a heavy coverage kind of finish. It's about £7 I think, something like that, so if you've got some time to pop into Boots and have a look at this and you are looking for a new powder, this is just something a little bit different and it makes your skin look really nice, so I'm a fan. Next I've got a couple of eyeliners to talk to you about. First is just a repurchase. If you watched my videos before, you can tell me what this is before I even show you. This is the L'Oreal Superliner Carbon Gloss situation. This is the Black Crystals one because it's my favourite. There is a standard black one and there's a Black Crystals one. Might even be a couple of other shades, but this is the one that I always end up going for. It's got a little sponge tip, and this is what I'm wearing right now. If you can see that, it's going a bit blurry. Also, if you're wondering what my eye makeup is, I have Naked Blush from MAC in the inner kind of corner. Then through the kind of like middle part of my eye, I have this one from the Welcome to the Pleasure Dome palette, which is called Jungle Call. And then on the outer corner, through my crease and under my lashes, I have this one, which is called There Goes a Supernova. So it's just a green smoky eye. Just if you were wondering. So yeah, this is a repurchase for the millionth time. This is my all-time favourite liquid eyeliner. I think it is fantastic and nothing quite compares to it. However, when I was visiting my friends in Manchester in October, I did one of my friends' makeup and she had the Perfect Slim version of the Superliner. Now I tried the chunky one before, the thick one, and I wasn't a massive fan, to be perfectly honest, so I just went straight back to using this one. But when I did my friend's makeup and I used this on her, it actually felt really nice and it created such a nice line. Because it's such a narrow tip, it's just like a felt tip liner, but it's a nice narrow little tip. And because of that, you can really create whatever kind of width of line that you want really, really easily. There's not sort of a chance really that you're going to accidentally create a really thick line and not be able to go anywhere with it. So I really like this and I bought it. The one thing that I will say, and I think it's just the nature of the kind of design, this one is super pigmented because you're dipping a sponge essentially into actual liquid and then putting the liquid across your line. Whereas in this one, because it's a felt tip, the liquid's kind of stored within it, so I feel that it's not quite as pigmented. I felt like I had to kind of go over it a couple of times to get it to be really black, whereas when I'm using the sponge one, I don't really have that issue. However, if kind of the intricacy of doing a winged line is something that you struggle with and you want something that's quite narrow that will give you quite a precise line. This, I would check this out because, I mean, it's perfectly black, I like it to be quite intense. So if you don't mind it being kind of, you know, a little bit fainter, but it gives you a lot of precision, go and have a look at this. It's about £6, I think, something like that, and it's excellent. So yeah, definitely thumbs up for that. Sticking with the eyes, this is another repurchase that I haven't had for a really long time. This is the Bourjois Volume Glamour Ultra Curl Mascara. I like the packaging of this. I've always liked the packaging of this because I quite like the sort of metallic pink lid and the metallic pink writing on it. So easily pleased. And this mascara has one of the kind of like curved brushes. I don't know if you can really see that from this angle. But it is one of the curved brushes that gets really into the roots of your lashes and brings them up. I definitely find that this works. A lot of, I think, mascaras that have these kind of gimmicks that say, oh, does this, extra volume, extra this, whatever. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but in terms of this one as a curling mascara, I definitely find that this works. On a day-to-day basis, I don't really actually curl my eyelashes, but I definitely find that when I use this, it actually curls them up and feels really nice and sort of stays in a nice shape. So if that's something that you struggle with, have a look at this mascara because it does work. It's not that expensive. It's about £8, I think, something like that. And if you know me, Bourjois is my favourite brand. I won't even beat around the bush with that. I think all of their stuff is amazing. Amazing quality for the price of them and really cute packaging, and you know, I will praise them through the roof. Finally, before we go on to the one skincare item, I have two nail polish items. Now, I'm glad I have you guys, because if you're watching this, you must be a beauty, makeup, cosmetics fan. Therefore, you will not judge me for this. It was my friend's wedding a couple of weeks ago and it was just the loveliest day. When I was getting myself organised, I was wearing just a little black dress type situation, my classic outfit, and I wanted to have a kind of pink theme going on. So I had a pink bag and I was going to do kind of pinkish makeup. So I wanted pink nails. I went to Barry M, as you do, or as I do on a far too regular basis, and they had a buy one get one half price offer on. And I couldn't pick between two shades, so I bought them both, and you guys will understand. These are the two nail polishes that I picked up. One is from the Silk collection, which I absolutely love. I only had one of these before, and it is the pale green one, and it is just stunningly beautiful. I absolutely love that nail polish. You know me, I love all the Barry M nail paints. I have done a Barry M collection video fairly recently, which I'll link in the description box if you want to go and see it. But this is the pink version of the Silk one, which is called Blossom. It's gorgeous. It's what I have on my nails just now, and I've only done one coat, so it actually looks really faint, but it just gives you this really lovely pearlised finish. Anytime I wear the green one, I get compliments on it, so I'd been meaning to invest in another couple from that range. But when I saw this one, I thought, yeah, this is the road that I want to go down. I checked a couple of blog posts, saw what it kind of looks like on the nails, but while I was looking, I found this one, which I thought I knew the Barry M standard collection pretty well, like I thought I knew what all the shades were. But this one, it's called Ballerina, I had never seen before. They had Strawberry Ice Cream, which was the very, very baby pink, and then they had a few darker pink ones, but I'd never seen this sort of like, oh, it's just so pretty. It's pink, but it's not a kind of like sugary over the top pink. It's not too bright, it's not too pale, it's not too neon. It's just somewhere in the middle, and it's just really, really pretty. And then I was thrown and I thought, I don't know. I don't know which one will go better with the bag. The best idea is, since it's buy one get one half price, just take both of them. So I've added both of these to my collection. I actually don't have a massive amount of pink nail polish, so I think that it's okay. My usual nail polish colours are the greeny, bluey, turquoise kind of shades. So I think it's okay that I've expanded it ever so slightly, especially considering Barry M, it's only like £3 for a nail polish, so you know. That's okay, that's justifiable, isn't it? So last but not least in this haul is the one solitary little skincare item that I have picked up, and that is the Una Brennan Superfacialist Rose Cleanser. This is the Rose Hydrate Calming Creamy Cleanser. That's a mouthful. A gentle daily cleanser to leave skin softer and more radiant. Now, I've heard so many people talk about how much they love the Una Brennan range, and I've gone in and looked at it a lot of times, but I've never actually sort of committed to buying anything. But since my skin's not been on its best behaviour recently, I decided that it might be a good time to try a new cleanser, and this has been on the list for a while. I used it for the first time last night, and I will say, I'm not overly enthusiastic about the scent of this, but that's not surprising because it's a rose cleanser and I'm not crazy about the scent of rose. However, The actual consistency of the cleanser was lovely. It felt really nice on my skin, and I definitely felt like my skin felt really nice and clean after I'd used it. So I'm definitely going to keep using this. We'll see how it goes. So that is it for my little Boots and Superdrug haul. I hope that you have enjoyed that. It's the first one of these types of videos that I've done in a really long time, so I feel like I can't really remember how to do it. I know that sounds like an insane thing, but I just feel like I've been rambling at the camera at you. But I hope that you enjoyed it and maybe saw a couple of things that you might be intrigued to go and check out yourself. In the comments below, tell me if you bought anything nice from Boots, Superdrug, anywhere. It doesn't have to be drugstore, it can be high-end, any new beauty products basically that you've been enjoying. I would love to know. And yeah, that's it. I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye! This is potentially the greatest Disney soundtrack of all time, and one of the most heartbreaking moments in any Disney film. It's The Lion King.